Kinnock.
Thank you very much, for coming to see us this morning. Do you think that a no-deal Brexit makes the reunification of Ireland more or less likely?
No, I don't.
No, you don't?
No.
So it's been reported that the Northern Ireland Secretary said at Cabinet yesterday that a so-called border poll on the reunification of Ireland was far more likely if the UK crashes out of the EU without a withdrawal agreement. Do you not agree then with the Northern Ireland Secretary?
I wasn't at Cabinet to hear those words uttered. Thank you for elevating me into the Cabinet. I very much appreciate the thought.
No, I'm saying it's widely reported and has not been
lots
denied.
Lots of things are widely reported. You'd have to ask the Northern Ireland Secretary that.
Do you not think that there's a political likelihood, I mean, given the terms of the Good Friday Agreement and that an Irish referendum can only be called by the Northern Ireland Secretary if there's evidence that a majority in Northern Ireland would support reunification. Mm-hmm. Do you not think that if we end up crashing out of the European Union without a deal, that Sinn Féin would immediately request a referendum in Northern Ireland?
Firstly, I can't say I would like to put... I don't think I've spoken to a Sinn Féin member since the general election of 2017 in this place. Secondly, that is a matter for those people responsible. And actually, I just would slightly push back. We would not be crashing out of the European Union without a deal on the 29th of March this year. There's been a huge amount of preparation that has gone in to ensure that we would be leaving the European Union. I would much prefer to have a deal. If we were to leave without a deal, so if you and your parliamentary colleagues cannot bring yourselves to vote for the deal that's on the table, when we will leave without a deal, and a huge amount of preparation has gone into making that suboptimal outcome as comfortable as possible.
But your role is to assess all of the risks that relate to, and I'm sure you see opportunities there as well, but let's call it, for the sake of argument, risks and opportunities. Mm-hmm. That relate to leaving the European Union without a deal. Do you agree that one of those risks is the risk to the constitutional integrity of the United Kingdom that is represented by a no-deal outcome?
No.
You don't think that leaving the UK with a no-deal outcome entails any risk to the potential, in terms of the potential breakup of the United Kingdom?
No.
Can you explain why not? Why you don't think? If you were just drawing up a sort of scale of 1 to 10, and you said, well, no deal versus a deal versus other options, are you seriously arguing that leaving with no deal would have no impact in terms of risk in the context of the breakup of the United Kingdom and specifically the reunification of Ireland?
I generally believe the union is a very strong union, and it would maintain its strength.
But it's correct, isn't it, that under the terms of the Good Friday Agreement, it is possible to hold a referendum in Northern Ireland if the Northern Ireland Secretary, it becomes clear that there is clear evidence that a majority in Northern Ireland would support reunification. Is that true, yes or not?
It has been ever since that agreement was signed.
And do you agree that leaving the European Union without a deal increases the likelihood of support for a referendum in Northern Ireland?
No.
Why not?
I just don't. It's a personal... I haven't travelled to Northern Ireland for a number of months. It's a personal belief. I do not.
But you can't. That's just a personal belief. You, as in your role as the minister responsible for assessing the risks that are associated with no deal, you haven't conducted any deeper research into this, what most people would think is quite an important issue, the future of our union.
The future of our union is strong, and I have every confidence in it maintaining.
But can you just confirm then, in your role as the minister responsible for assessing the risks around a no-deal outcome, no research or thinking or discussion has been done about, the scenario whereby we leave the EU without a deal and the impact that has on the likelihood that a party such as Sinn Féin would immediately request a referendum in Northern Ireland. No work has been done on assessing that risk.
I confirm that I have not commissioned, nor have I seen any work on that basis.
Do you think it's a responsible attitude of the government to not be commissioning some work and thinking and assessing the political risks on this, what most people I think would consider as quite an important issue, the future of our union?
I'm quite sure that the Northern Ireland Secretary and the Northern Ireland Office consider all sorts of matters relating to that on an ongoing basis and have done ever since the Good Friday Agreement was signed.
But the Northern Ireland Secretary has, and I recognise this is reported in the media, so we don't have it, but it hasn't been denied. The Northern Ireland Secretary has told the Cabinet yesterday that leaving the EU without a deal would significantly increase the chances of a so-called border poll in Northern Ireland. So why do you not think that you would want to be, the Brexit Department and the Northern Ireland Department would want to be coordinating and working closely together to assess the risk of a request to have a referendum in Northern Ireland, which would in essence have to be accepted by the Northern Ireland Secretary under the terms of the Good Friday Agreement? Don't you think you should have been working with... Were you surprised to read this report of what she said?
Forgive me, Mr. Kinnock, but I refuse to comment on leaks of that nature. You're more than welcome to ask the Northern Ireland Secretary herself.